Hey, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another video. That's right, I am officially back from my holidays. If you were here yesterday, you may have seen that I was streaming Baldur's Gate 3. So for those that did show up for that live stream, thank you so much. It means a lot. For those that didn't, that's fine. That's fine. I see where your allegiances lie. With not watching the stream, how dare you? But yeah, no, we're back with Excelsior, Exandria, Unlimited, Calamity. Feels so good to be back. Yeah, it was a nice holiday. It was nice and relaxing. Well, kind of. I had my daughter there as well, and dear God, that woman does not sit still for more than a second. I swear, she cannot keep her attention on anything. Nothing. Every 2 seconds. Dad, look at this. Oh, God, Dad, come out here, do this. I literally just walked outside, and was like, oh, Dad, look. Sorry if that just blew your eardrums up. Dad, look at this. Come here. Outside, quick. Bam. Just started playing bat and ball, and then it was in, and I played cards and doing everything. But it was fun. It was fun. I loved every second of it. Super relaxing, apart from that bit. But yeah, I'm really glad to be back because I've been missing making videos, and starting live streaming again, which was really fun. I really enjoyed that. But I'll be live streaming again today as of the 5th of the 8th, if anyone wants to join me there. To be fair with you, I'll probably be streaming as this video comes out, so by all means, check me out. If not, then, you know, have a great day, and I love you all. But yeah, so glad to be back. We're just going to get straight into it, because, honest to God, I don't remember too much as to what happened. Oh, no, I remember. No, we saw all the characters. We met all the characters. We met the wizard and everything. I've skipped because there was quite a chunky break that I didn't realize this, but I literally just got to it as I ended the last video by pure happen chance. So happens. God damn it, Jesus Christ. But anyway, we're just gonna get straight into it. Welcome back to the scuffed intros. I'm sure you've all missed them. Let's go. Alright.
Sam just said taint. Hi, folks, and welcome.
What? Wait, hold on 1 sec. Did you say Sam just said teeth or taint? One's far funnier than the other.
Sam just said taint. Hi, folks.
Taint,
and
I'm sure.
Back to Exandria Unlimited Calamity.
I feel bad for skipping the breaks now.
Those members of the you did.
It's funny because it's true.
It's funny because it's true.
The important thing is this: we return to Exandria in an age-long past, in the flying city of Avalier. I would describe the place that we return to in Avalier. But it might be rude of me because it doesn't belong to me. So I might ask for someone else at the table to describe it. But I will say this. The day has passed and many of your responsibilities have taken you abroad. This is the last day before the city of Avalier will
Right, yeah, it's about to land
good on its ancient
for a
paths
week
by releasing its
or a month.
store of ether, of raw magical energy back into the lands of Dominus to replenish that continent and make good the promise to the druids of old Toromunda that a new age will come, an age of flourishing, of magic. In the year following a replenishment, crops explode.
If only I didn't know all this leads up to the Calamity. I'm sure if I didn't know that, then I'd be like, oh my God, yes, it's going to be gorgeous, you know? As he says, flowers will bloom, waterfalls will turn into magical gold. It's gonna be beautiful. But no, it's gonna be a crater of death, destruction, and rebuilding after a centuries-long battle.
Throughout the land, and often a generation of magical children will be born, and there will be a revitalizing. The Fae will flourish, and doors to lands of wonder and plenty and magic will open. The replenishment is such an important time for the many cultures of Dominus. And for many days now, that continent, you've seen fireworks going up. As you approach Cathmoira, you see all the villages and towns surrounding it send up fireworks, kites flying. As you approach Cathmoira, you begin to hear it. You are now close enough as the sun lowers off the western edge of the city. The choirs of Cathmoira singing. Far off, but even here above the clouds, you hear the distant but palpable songs of welcoming, a return home. A month of rest and repair on arcane infrastructure and all manner of civic defenses and technology, but also return home in a spiritual way, in an emotional way, a return to the earth. The release of magical energy and a reuniting of the mountain that once was a very historically significant mountain.
Am I supposed to, I mean, I know I definitely don't get the reference because I don't know the backstory that much, but does the mountain play a big part in this story? Should I know this mountain, or is he going to describe it? Let's find out.
As the sun sets, shadows grow long. As the sun sets, shadows grow long, and you find yourselves hearing festivities, and the parade of beasts begins, and you can hear revelry all throughout the city. It's kind of wild to throw a party the night before a month of parties, but what the hell?
Hey.
Let's get it started.
It's a
This is the last
pre-party.
party before you have to party with all the people from the ground. So let's party now, Wizards of Avalier.
Woo!
Exactly.
Ew.
And normies.
Are there normies here?
Speaking of parties, we look over the vast city, the roaring cheers of taverns in these harbor-side neighborhoods. We see harbors on the east and west shelves of Avalier with docked sky.
You know what? I've just realized Xerxes. Look, he is the spitting image of his character. I didn't notice that the first time while watching it, and I can't tell if that's the way he meant it to be. But yeah, the dude is the spitting image of his character. Beard and everything. Beautiful.
Ships with their broomstone on either side of the ship's decks. We see going up Excelsior Plaza, just awash in multicolored light as everyone gathers there to cheer in the replenishment. People will be partying here all night. They will party until dawn.
Then
to
land
welcome the
and party
replenishment.
some more.
The scythe has libations flowing freely until the dawn, and then Caro Hulks with cots and beds at the ready will ferry people home to sleep it off.
You're welcome. You're all so welcome.
However, there are some parties that are not only just for festivities, but for the well-to-do to see each other. And perhaps
well-to-do.
the most prestigious of these pre-replenishment galas now unfolds at the Palazzo Porco.
Loquacious. I love that guy.
Marisha, your ancestral home, a palace for wizards. Feel free to describe, if you would be so kind, the visage of this place that we now see before us, and perhaps any preparations that Pesha has made in advance of this once every 7 years must attend gala.
Yes, what nobody saw was moments before guests arrive, Portia was clamping and clopping around. Pesha, sorry.
Pesha.
That's my character.
Forget your own character's name. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, goodness. Pesha. Who am I?
Sorry, what did she call that?
Sorry. Clamping and clopping around arrive. Portia was.
Portia.
Oh, goodness. Pesha. Who am I?
Who are they?
Stressful.
Who are any of us?
Planning a party. Hard.
She's kind of prancing around the foyer, and she is barking at her servants, and she turns to Melindra and is like, Melindra, are all the gift baskets ready for everyone from the Septarium who may be arriving?
From the Sept. Well,
Yes.
My lady, we are not expecting any from the Septarian.
No one responded.
Well, many from the Ring of Gold will be in attendance. The apprentices of the Septarian will likely be here. But I believe the Septarian are Sorry, I have extra gift baskets, and
And all of them have the 200 wands that we were expecting from Nidus, correct?
yes, those wands actually did arrive. Some of them had to be cleaned because there was some juice. I think some children may have
good
gotten
God.
their hands on some of them.
They weren't new wands?
No, they were what? They were brand new. I believe some sorceress youths may have.
I'll speak to Nidus. And the guild masters are all arriving, and all of their packages have arrived as well.
The entire Octothird will be in attendance.
Fantastic.
Those most significant chairs of the Magisterium, the Court of Workings, of course, will be in attendance as well as the
wrong
Court
with
of
me?
Owls. The guild masters, the hierophants of the 8 guilds. They are all coming. Do we? Many of them have asked for some extra guests in the previous hour. Do we want?
Plus ones. Moments before a party starts. Just, yes, anyone can come. It is the replenishing.
Very well. I will see to that right away. And we do have actually a guest that was requested by one of the managers. There's a. I'm so sorry. There's a young man who boarded in Vasselheim who wished to come. That was requested by actually a member of the Ring of Silver. I believe he is a champion of the divine.
Really?
Champion of the Divine. And who is his steward from the Ring of Silver?
Magister Hollow.
Hello?
Yes.
Good. If he creates any commotion or treason, we know who is responsible.
Of course. I don't think he'll get much of a fuss. He's sort of a nobody, I think. I think it's sort of here as a sort of party quirk.
Never trust a nobody, Melindra.
You are so right.
So absolutely right. I am
Please
so sorry.
go just make sure that the hors d'oeuvres and the beverages are all settled and...
Oh, he's bringing a wolf. Is that bad? He's bringing a wolf. I was told he was bringing a wolf.
Is
It's
it?
gonna be a wolf.
Is it
Fantastic.
shedding its fur?
A wolf is a terrestrial creature. It's a it's a
the
dog
wolf
basically.
Speak? Like, can the wolf speak? You know, like the sphinxes that you see in the Parade of Beasts?
Oh, the Sphinx. I actually quite enjoyed that Sphinx. Sorry.
That's not my question. Can it speak?
Too forward. I will see if the wolf can speak. I believe I will see if the wolf can speak.
Fantastic. I guess we'll all be finding out soon, won't we? And she turns around in her foyer and she kind of starts sauntering her way to the grand double doors in the front. And it's one of those things where it's like, yes, it's her family home, but it kind of more belongs to the Magocracy at this point. She doesn't really stay there. It's like the Hearst Castle, and in that way. And but it is made of the same kind of white, cream-colored marble that the rest of this district is carved in, and it kind of has this smooth transition with giant crystalline windows in the front that almost have like an iridescent quality to them, and ever so often the image shifts and portrays like a different stained glass relief in front of them. And then when you walk in, there's kind of these like levitating gardens kind of up in the corner, giving us these like fresh air. It smells like a rainforest directly after a storm, and little tricklings of water pouring off of the side of these levitating gardens, kind of vanishing to nowhere. And along the lines kind of carved in this rich marble that you see everywhere are kind of almost like golden and sacred geometric inlays that ever so often flash with like an arcane energy that pours across it, that you can see is like this entire house is just essentially wired with arcane.
You know what I've always found interesting about like storytelling and things like that? It doesn't matter how intricate of detail you go into, the chances are every single person which would be the 6 of them that are currently sitting there, Brennan included, or, you know, the 6 of them when Brennan's telling the story, will probably have a completely different idea as to what this looks like, which is, I think, anyways, like the one of the best qualities of like storytelling in D&D, because obviously since Vox Machina got turned into a show, and the Mighty Nine will soon become a show at some point, obviously you can visually see everything. You can visually see the things that they would be describing, but you know, now you're just literally showing us. But yeah, I just think it's cool because I could have such a vivid picture of what she's telling me. And then if this was to ever become a show and they created her description, it could look completely different, but still have the same like essence, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Ability.
Incredible. Illusory trumpets blare, announcing the arrival of the first guests, and you see that they begin to arrive. As the sun sets, it is now fully, if you look to the east, you can see like the first stars, but if you look to the west, the sun has moved behind the continent of Dominus, but you still see like pink and rosy golden light clinging to the edge of the sky. The floating gardens are now filled with revelers. The Wizards of Avalor, the magocratic government that is here and assembled, as well as various other potentates and important figures, begin to usher into the
Is
Palazzo
loquacious
Corpo.
here.
And as they do, illusory voices ring out,
This is what I want.
announcing them. Member of the Octothurge and Dean of the College of Necromancy, Magister Hollow moves out. Names, one after the other, ring out. As you all arrive, do all of you, does anyone care to describe their entrance into the party?
Oh, Sam needs a extravagant, elegant
I will,
entrance.
Yeah. Sarah obviously likes to fly in. He likes to just do a couple circles around the gala just to see who's taking their time, who's talking to who, clock what's happening, and then land far from the entrance before he tucks his wing back in, and actually he doesn't enter right away. He kind of throws his hood up, and he is a 6 foot tall Ice Fura, but he still stands back a little bit and just clocks who's going in, who's talking to who's arm in arm. Together.
Did I notice Sarah coming in?
You know how Sarah enters. Sarah does not like his name announced
Right.
and broadcast as he enters.
I just kind of peek at the corner of my eye up at him, but not even really looking at him, just enough to where I signal that I'm aware of his entrance.
So they definitely do know each other then.
Incredible. Sarah gets there early. The place is still filling up with revelers. You begin to hear beautiful music playing again from groups of bards that have come here to play music, singing ancient songs of the creation of Avalier. And this is, after all, the Feast of Emir. This is dedicated to the memory of Pesha's grandfather. The mage, there were 7 archmages of original Avalier, but this is the mage who finished the spell to enchant the broomstone and lift the city into the sky.
So he gets all the credit, huh?
Who else arrives?
Terrible.
Before I arrive, one of my the Herald's Tome, my
Yes.
newspaper, is delivered throughout the city with inside these magical pneumatic tubes. There's no tubes. They just sort of free float around the city.
Get down!
I was gonna say, you're just walking along, you know, zebra crossing, and you just get slapped in the face by a goddamn newspaper. That'd be one hell of a paper cut.
But one of these pneumatic tubes enters before me and is delivered magically into the hand of the person, the caller who's announcing folks. My entrance begins far deep into the courtyard outside. I'm dropped off, not at the front door, but far away from it, so I can walk slowly towards the front door, trying to avoid attention
Yeah,
as
I'm
much
sure.
as I can,
Yeah, of
but
course.
secretly wanting it.
Oh, please don't look at me.
Complaining
Look at
that
me.
I was dropped off so far away that I have to now endure the paparazzi.
People looking around. You do see that there are like clusters of wizards who are like still in the sort of area of like public, where it's like on the street. Like there he is! It's Loquacious Sealy.
Yes, I don't have much time. I really don't. I must go inside.
I have to tell you, I've been reading the tome for 20 years. Yeah, you're
I appreciate
incredible.
it.
Yeah.
Make sure to renew the subscription next month, and I'll keep walking.
I love your work. You dart in, Loquacious Sealy, Herald of Avalia, voice of the council and scribe of crowns. You see, people actually turn and give a genuine round of. Some people get like a golf clap. There's a true hooray.
I get the Dumbledore
as you
clap.
enter in.
No, really, it's too
Well
much.
played.
It's too much.
You enter in. I think probably, Patient, you recognize that Loquacious is going to be mobbed in the entrance hall until he is rescued. Like everybody here, you see, someone come up and say like, Mr. Sealy, it's such a pleasure to meet you. If I can, my name is Madara Glyph. I'm the valedictine abjurer of the Hall of Symbols.
I think we must have some mutual friends.
I work with I work with the architect Arcane, though not in her capacity as member of the Court of Working. She actually is doubly employed in the Abjuration Guild. I was wondering if I might impress upon you to.
I let it happen long enough that he does start getting annoyed, and then
Glancing
I
around.
walk up and I say, "Oh, excuse me, please allow our guests some breathing room."
Paisha, lovely to see you. Thank you for having us. The place looks
Loquacious.
amazing as always.
Of course.
Where are
Follow
we
me.
sitting? Where is everybody?
Come on, we got a table in the back.
Come with a +1.
Let's say yes.
Let's say yes.
Let's say yes.
Who did you bring?
I brought. It takes me a second to remember her name.
Typical.
But her name is Bolo, I think.
Bolo.
She's a friend of a friend. We were sort of set up. This is the second time I've ever met her. She's gorgeous, isn't she?
Melindra mentioned that people were asking for +1s at the last
Oh
minute.
yes,
and I said yes.
I told everyone that would be fine. So.
All right, fantastic.
Nice to meet you, Ambola.
Nice to meet you.
Bolo wants to be a reporter like me.
Eventually, I'm going to be a reporter.
I've taken her under my wing, and I think she's got a bright future.
This is disgusting.
Yes, Bolo has very nice future
I'm
here.
like, whoop.
I'm going to be big reporter someday.
This your house?
Yes.
In a way.
Hello in the
Yes.
city.
You know what, Bolo? Why don't you go fetch us some drinks and just do some mingling, There's a lot of stuff that you can hear by picking up on people's conversations in these events. You might get some leads and clues. So start practicing, maybe take some mental notes and get us some drinks, all right?
In AOR, sometimes it is illegal to ask these questions.
From AR.
Where?
It's fascinating. I heard that there was some stowaways from the last time we visited
She's
AR.
not a stowaway at all. I sent a letter and had her brought here, so.
Yes.
No, sorry,
You
I
want
just.
drinks?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, I bring drink for you.
Kill everybody. You're gonna kill us all.
Fantastic.
I think her name is Bolo.
I think her name is Bolo.
That's the
Anyway.
most famous dude thing in the world.
Yeah,
The most random person.
I think.
think.
Hello means hello in Aorian.
I think her name's Bolo.
She's really just saying, "How are you?" every time.
Anyway, where are our friends? Where's the circle?
Well, Saris is making his usual rounds, and I believe we're still waiting for the others.
Nidus will roll up at this point. An army of, let's say, 700
Hodmadad?
I
Hodmadad?
Hodmadads are carrying a full-size tree. Where's the rarest place in the world I could acquire a tree from?
Oh, wow.
So sick.
Okay, at this time, Marquette is not yet desert. So the rarest magical tree you can find is in the thick jungles of Marquette, many days' journey past the nearest village, deep into the wilderness.
So we got one of those.
Yes, it will. I just went out and purchased
You
it.
see a
No big deal.
scintillating tree. So hundreds of brightly colored arcane scarecrow automata carrying a tree whose bark is twinkling lapis lazuli and whose leaves are a deep,
nice color blue.
almost black purple that continuously blooms into enormous, bright, the lightest pink blossoms all over the tree. A bunch of Hamadas come in, go up right to Melindra and be like, "Hello, milady.
Hello.
One magic tree, courtesy of the golden scythe."
I join. I walk up.
I like the hot me dots. Like, no, go ahead, guys. No,
I think that also there's 700, so a bunch of the Hamadas are just like hors d'oeuvres, just like stuff.
I go up to Nidus.
Yes. A gift to the family, Porco, both to you and to your grandfather's continued vision.
Nidus, you always bring the best treasures.
Well, for the best people.
It's just what I do.
And then I just kind of start to loop my hands around, and you see arcane sigils form into a disc that extend out, and I lift the tree kind of up and make it like this centerpiece of the party that's kind of levitating over everyone's head and rotating.
You do me such an honor.
Well, it has to have front placement.
Nidus, give me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, that's a cool 24.
You clock a bunch of wizards around the party looking at this tree going, "Fuck," and like looking at like a like nicely wrapped jewelry box and being like,
Nice. I see business is booming.
You damn straight it is.
Indeed.
I made this
Here
casual
at the
purchase.
replenishment, the Golden Scythe and Avalier along with it have never been better.
Amazing. I've been balancing some new sponsors. Maybe we could talk about sort of sharing some details. Maybe you could even. I was thinking on your little automatons
Yes,
that you
yes,
have.
the hot me dots.
If
What
I
are they
could-
called?
Did I
say it right?
Hot me dots, yeah.
Okay, great.
If we
On the hot me dots.
worked out a deal, could I slap like a logo on some of them if I got just like a little, like a
we
finder's
could
fee for that?
definitely work something out
Okay.
like that. I think we would.
Continue this conversation at our table in the back. I don't want to lose it. I see Laren coming.
you guys start.
Say
you guys
Bolo's
start-
on its way back.
A couple of Hadmadads follow behind you, sort of
We'll have to
flopping
talk
with their
about placement,
fabric.
because certain parts of the city, I think we're going to have to charge a bit more for that kind of placement.
Yeah, Laren is walking up. There's no she's wearing like a liquid gold dress that looks like a cauldron of bubbling molten gold. But it's that weird apparition where it looks like the background that she's walking across has the features. So as she's walking, that's where the source of the pattern is from. So it's just like a weird it's
pretty cool.
visual. But other than that, she didn't really think of adorning herself. She's too excited, and she's just walking up. She's got this little golden. It's like a wizard fidget spinner in her hand, but she's kind of just snapping back and forth. That's made of this delicate gilded metal, and she's just sort of mumbling to herself, very excited. All of the energy is I'm coming here to make an appearance, and then I have to go get to work.
Incredible. Laren, with that energy, you walk into the Palazzo Porco. The herald announces as you enter this place, Architect Arcane of the Court of Workings, Hierophant Abjura of the...
I cast haste on myself, so I'm down at the bottom of the stairs as he starts.
You hear that the like pre-recorded announcement is like Hierophant and like speeds up. You get to the bottom. Mark haste.
My hair just
Post haste, she's gone, dude.
She darts past me, and I'm like, yo. Okay.
Incredible. Laren, you go to the bottom and meet with that haste, breeze past people. You're also a person that, like, unlike Loquacious and Nidus, have to get to that table quick because people know they can get things from these two. Like, civilians don't understand what you do enough to ask you for stuff. So you're actually safe to just approach Paisha out in the open if you want to.
I pass by you. Grab a glass of champagne and come back over. I have 2. I replace yours.
Hey. Hi. So glad
Beautiful.
you could join us.
Incredible news.
What?
Later. Now, not. Bye. And she takes off again towards the back.
Forgot to drop haste.
Just leaves a shadowed silhouette of herself made of smoke.
Laren, you zoom off, and Xerxes.
So Xerxes was not actually planning on showing up because these kinds of events, he's not. This is his first time as First Knight, and was not really into the first return as First Knight, and was not. Was kind of dreading this sort of a public thing, but a question for back when the kites were flying. And
Yes.
Xerxes was on the balcony. Oh. Did I get one?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
So,
Then
does he just not have family or friends, or I mean, clearly he must do. Otherwise, he wouldn't have wondered if he got one or not. But they just didn't care enough to send one up for him. I mean, he's going to be docked for a month now, right? Or a week. God damn, I keep forgetting. But nonetheless, I'm sure if he wanted to go and find whoever it was that he wanted a kite from, they can't exactly hide from him for a short while.
what Xerxes would have been doing is he would have then gotten on top of Tempest, flown out and done a round in the distance to make sure everything was clear, and was going to use that as his excuse to stay out there, but decided otherwise. And you see the Griffin just soaring down into the entranceway.
Oh, he's such a cool
kind of
like,
in one
pet,
smooth motion
I
as
guess.
the Griffin starts to slow down. Xerxes hops right off and plants his 2 feet onto the ground, sending Tempest out to scout, be his eyes in the sky, and
Always working.
takes a deep breath.
I just extend the glass of champagne that Laren handed to me that I haven't taken a sip from yet.
So Xerxes. Oh wait, no, you didn't walk through the door.
Oh, I'm starting to walk through, and it's I'm starting to walk. I landed in. I mean, I wish. That'd be, right at the entrance, and then starts to like march in.
Yeah. So Xerxes Ilrez, first knight of Avalier.
And he freezes because that is terrifying to him to be announced in front of all these people and have perhaps eyes on him. He's just like the complete opposite of this. He's probably frozen in his tracks. Like,
Let me ask you a question. So you scouted and looked down at Cath Moira. Did you land in Cath Moira or no?
no, I didn't want to be seen, but I wanted to. I was looking from a distance.
In the home of Edilus Okiro, even from that great height, you could see that the lights were on and a small feast was being held. I will say this as well. Nidus, you receive a longer missive than the one from your brother from your sister-in-law, Irme, who informs you of, some a little bit more than pleasantries, some family news and things that have been occurring and things that will maybe require your attention, not on a professional, but on a personal level, some friends that have come calling. And at the end of her letter to you, she says, basically, as she speaks to you, she says, Romar and Ramira are fine. Romar is planning his, adventures upon growing older, and Ramira is already completing her studies and ready to apply to some of the universities in Avalier. Elias is well. Most days are fine for him, but in the days approaching Avalier's return, I cannot report that his mood has been bright. I have done my best to instruct that he ought to send his father some word of kindness upon arrival. Please give Xerxes my apologies. Elias is at a tender age.
I was actually waiting for Xerxes. That was the last one. So
Cool.
I start making my way towards the entrance, and as I near the herald, I actually quickly and very stealthily sneak up behind him and sneak just a finger under his throat. And it has a gold piece in it. And I say, keep that name to yourself.
I love
I'll
that.
slip up just behind Xerx. I was wondering if you were going to show tonight.
Well, I wasn't planning on it, but I've decided otherwise. What am I to expect here?
I couldn't tell you, but I do need to run something by you a little later, something a bit fishy.
I'm ready to get out of this and talk about that immediately.
I have to follow up on one other lead real quick. I'll see you at our table.
Very sneaky.
Yeah, just do like, and
Anything
As
shy of
you're
a
running
wink.
patient, go ahead and describe your table, the fabled table we have heard so much about.
I escort Xerxes back, now handing him the glass of champagne.
Take it.
And kind of hidden away in like an archway that's kind of got this open room with a few other kind of windows that can see out to the rest of the party. Hanging ivy and vines with a little like water fountain embedded into the far back wall. There is a nice little round table and some like booths on the side. It's cushy.
Yeah.
And and then that's where we have our little private area. Charcuterie, cheese board on the table. It's a must.
Always a cheese board.
As you walk,
It's a quintessential sign that you are high up in this world if you have a cheese board.
through the ivy,
And champagne
the ivy
to go with it.
rustles, approaching the table for those that are already here. As you walk and see Nidus and Loquacious already seated, you can hear as their mouths move just the rustling of ivy leaves. As you walk in and take a seat, and you feel a little wash of, not imposing, but a little wash of divinatory and abjurative magic. Just a little bit of, are you who we think you are? And if not, maybe I do something about it.
Cool.
But all who walk here are their honest selves. And as you sit at the table, beautiful charcuterie board set in front of you, all of you look out, protected in this ivy silence, with all of the power of the flying city of Avalier at your disposal. You look out at magisters, deans, and provosts of the flying city, apprentices of the Ring of Gold, and the 6 people who actually get shit done may finally, after a long day's preparation, have a moment to celebrate.
Love it. I just want to say though, because as you guys know, I don't really watch many D&D, actual campaigns. This is I don't watch many. This is literally the first one that I've ever watched. But I just think the sheer amount of side characters in different kind of like associations and stuff that are just littered around that you may never even be brought up again or have very little to do with the story. The fact that they've even been thought of is just nuts. The world building in the like coming up with everything. Oh God, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Where's Sarah? I saw him with you.
He was. He said he had something to take care of, and then he was going to come and join us at, the spot.
I'm actually chasing down the rando that Loquacious came with.
Yes. Okay. You go over and you see that the
Bolo?
there is a Hadmadad holding a small tray of drinks, and you see Bolo is there saying, "I need drinks from you, not this." And you see that the Hadmadad's like, "Listen, I only have a small list of pre-programmed responses. I'm not actually sentient. So if I'm saying this, you know that you've asked for something that's not included in my brain."
Good evening. I know all the faces in this gin joint, but I don't seem to know yours.
This bag is giving me a hard time.
I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't catch your name.
Bola.
Bola. I am Sarah
Bolo.
Grubnin. My friends call me Pinch. Bola from...
Aor.
Bola from Aor. Mysterious. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. Can I escort you?
I need the drinks.
You need the drinks.
This bag keep arguing with me.
Yes, it does. I hate it when they do that.
Can you destroy?
Yes, I can destroy right now. I'm sorry, just the entire time he's talking, I just picture Bolo looking exactly like Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen's character from Borat, and it's just making it so much better. The fact that Loquacious like brought her, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a her, right, along, and I'm just picturing it as a middle-aged man with a mustache and curly hair and a grey suit.
I can sense your frustration. I'll be sure to take this up with the maker of this fine machine. Let me see what I can do.
What do you mean machine is a bag?
Yeah. I'll be back. Hood up.
I make my way down through the thing. I go over to Loquacious.
Who the fuck did you come with?
A blur of gold comes by. Who the fuck did you come with?
Oh.
And I take back off to go find that.
Oh, you don't need to, Laren. She's just some arm candy that was offered to me by
Arm
a friend.
candy. She threatened to expire the help.
Well, it's gonna be a fun night for me then.
I'm gonna grab that champagne out of your hands.
Laren, do you take off your flying Bolo?
No, I stay.
You stay.
Friends.
What did I miss?
Not much. We were just getting settled. And look at this. The first replenishment for the ring of brass. Feels right.
That's a good point.
It's a momentous day on a lot of fronts, but I feel like there's news to share. I not from me. Of course, I hear nothing, but I'm curious to know what the news is, so that I.
Before we do, though, perhaps a toast to our friend Xerxes as his first.
Oh, that's right.
This is first round.
Night of Avalier going into a replenishment.
First round is the night of Avalier.
The first night of the first night.
Yeah, first night of the first night of Avalier.
Thank you. I would like to toast those that are not with us as well. To Evandrin, who should be here in this place, in this position of honor, and who would have been handling that entrance with a lot more grace than I certainly did. But thank you all, my friends. I appreciate you.
His legacy will be long-lasting.
Well, let's hope so. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to cut through the pleasantries. I'm not in the best of state, and I almost didn't come, but something feels amiss to me. And I've come here to actually seek out the two of you.
Hold on. Oof, been a minute. And I take that like lethargy effect where I'm like, hold for 6 seconds. Okay, sorry, what was it?
Just magically refill Aaron's glass of champagne.
Oh, that would come in so handy to be able
I
to
had
do
a
that.
bit of a nightmare of sorts last night, I suppose. Maybe it's my anxiety for coming home. Maybe it's some nerves that I have from reuniting with my son. But it shook me. And I didn't know what else to do but to come and tell you about it. Evandrin was in my dream, and in it there was a fight of some sort between, I can only say, the gods.
So does he have some sort of link to... Because he's a paladin, right? And I assume maybe he's linked to one of the gods. Not really linked to them, but he supports one of the gods, and then through that he's able to get some sort of weird connection between what's about to come. That's why he's having the premonitions. Or premonition, I don't know if he's had multiple. Oh no, he has, yeah, I'm pretty sure at the beginning he did say that he'd had that dream a few times, I think.
The Father of the Dawn seemed to be trying to extinguish what I could only say was one of the betrayers.
Oh,
Does this mean anything to anybody, other than just perhaps a bad dream?
Sounds silly to me, frankly.
Sorry, I know, I'm just pausing it again real quick. Yeah, so from what I remember, I'm pretty sure it is the Father of the Dawn. From what you guys have told me, is like there is no god of gods, but he's like the main one that gets worshipped. Therefore, he's like the big god. He's like the main good god amongst a bunch of other main gods that just aren't in the ranks. He's like first, and you've got like the other gods that are just like tiptoeing behind him or whatever. But I forgot my question. I went on a rant about that. Oh yeah, sorry, no, yeah. So yeah, they know what they look like, right? Because it's not until the Calamity that... maybe I shouldn't know this, but I do, regardless. But yeah, I know after the Calamity, the gods, the good gods, they win. The supreme gods, or whatever they're called, they win and they lock away the betrayer gods. And then after that, they decide to put some sort of like barrier against them in the mortal world so that they can no longer interfere, which is why they can't just go down and be seen like I assume they can at this moment. Like you gotta say, like the matron of ravens, she could only be seen through Vax, sort of through like not actually physically be seen, but because he was her champion, it could be seen that way, if you know what I mean. So this is basically this is before that. Yes. Okay.
Dreams can
Continue.
be deeply interpretive, Xerxes. I mean, perhaps it is your anxiety of the two colliding forces of Avalier reuniting.
Felt. I understand, and the gods don't mean much to me. But one was begging me for help.
One of the gods.
The fallen one. The betrayer.
Which betrayer god was it? Did it say?
they're all behind the... They're not here, though. Not like the others that walk around. I know you know that. Just...
I know that.
Could have played 30 seconds
What
of it
did
and
the-
got my
what
answer,
did
but
this betrayer look like?
He was red. Had a horn.
Asmodeus.
And, I think maybe... I couldn't remember if it was because of the way he was lying down, but I just recall seeing the side of his face and maybe one horn. Maybe if there was another one, maybe it was broken off. I'm not sure. I'm not remembering it so clearly. But I do remember something that was said. Gordranus.
Who here speaks Draconic?
Right here.
Right
Throw it
here.
up, let's go.
I knew you would.
You got to roll for it?
Uh,
Or does she just speak it
Gathering
fluently?
of Shadows. Gordranus. It doesn't mean anything to you right now. Anyone here who would like to may roll. You can roll history. You can roll Arcana, or if you have, are listening to your very troubled friend who you know is in a state of emotional turmoil and just want to roll an insight if you're not about.
You said history or
Arcana, if you're like, okay, let me take him seriously, or insight if you're like, I want to.
I'll do
12 for history.
12 for history.
I mostly think it's emotional, but I will think about like these words feel more like relevant.
Yeah.
Which would you want from that?
If you're thinking about the words themselves, any of those intelligence skills, I would take religion, Arcana, or history.
I'll do Arcana then.
Do Arcana, yeah.
26 on insight, and I just want to glean if he's really shook by this or if he's talking about something else.
29 on history.
Let's go.
And 22 on Arcana.
Also 22 on Arcana.
29 history,
Pretty
22 on
decent.
Arcana.
26 on insight.
26 on insight. Okay, so for our, we'll start with the 22s on Arcana. Gordranus is it's Draconic. You would know from the Arcana check there that the term Gordranus, it is like those are the literal meaning is gathering of shadows. Words have connotations, right? And that's one of the hardest things when you're adopting a second language is to learn like the idioms. And it's like, if you don't speak English, what's the difference between a hearty welcome and a cordial reception? Emotionally, like those words don't land the same. Dragons aren't scared of much. Gordranus, those words mean. The connotation is an intense one. It's the kind of words that dragons would use to describe something they were scared of.
Okay.
With a 29 history check, an incredible history check, the name Gordranus comes to you from a very specific place in history. It's an ancient text from the Schism. This is a text from
The
when
Schism.
the primordials. So there's a lot of stuff about the Schism in the Librarium Incantatum, right? Because the founding of Torremunda has its root in the Schism, right?
Yeah. So he mentioned the primordials. Yes, the primordials are the beings that were living on Exandria before the gods came about and created humanity, created like mortals, and created elves and humans and dwarves, blah 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 blah. And then the elementals, the primordials, they got pissed the fact that basically, all these creatures had been created and given magic and what have you, which some of the gods agreed with. The gods joined them. Then the primordials fought with the primordials, and the patriarch gods fought the supreme deities and were beaten, right? I think that's the way it went, and then they got banished to the Shadow Realm. I don't know what happened to the primordials. I don't know if they're still kicking about. I don't know if they got weakened to the point where now they're. Oh no, sorry, though they got put in a different realms or something, right? Because I think that's what Keyleth went to when she was doing her Oramente. That's how she got the Firelands where she was. So maybe they just got put into different realms and they're still alive, just not able to get back through to Exandria.
The
Pure speculation. I have no idea.
The Emperor of Fire and the Empress of Earth, that were two mighty primordials, were laid low and sealed forever away by the Dawn Father under Mount Igor.
Dude, honest to God, That's the second time this has happened. Had I have played a few seconds, I would have got my answer, basically.
And it was in the guise of that mountain that eventually the druids of the Gaudrashari came and built Toramunda, tending to this holy place, and over time those druids tended to it so well that other people came and sought them out, and then eventually it grew into a city, and that city eventually attracted wizards, and those wizards eventually took the top of that mountain and sailed away. But the name Gordranus from the early schism, because in the schism there were dragons fighting on behalf of the prime deities, there was a threat made in the epics of one of these battles during the schism by the betrayer gods. It's attributed to different ones in different texts, but the text that at least, who knows, reliable, but the most detailed text that you remember from your encyclopedic knowledge of all of the scrolls of your library and all the tomes therein, is that it's often attributed to the Lord of the Hells, and it is, and it was Gordranus is. It's just a very specific wording that he said in the battle of his defeat in the schism when he was sealed away, where he said, like, "Put me where you will, in darkness I will gather my shadows to me." Wow. And Gordranus in Draconic, the literal. So you're like, oh, that's some like specific verbiage. It's, again, 29 is a super high roll. So that's you going like, well, that's literally where I've seen the words before.
Right. It's like pulling a certain phrase out of
just a keyword.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And not one of his popular ones.
Yeah, it's like just keyword search. There you go. And then for that 26 insight.
Yeah, he's seen so much. How shook is he compared to his life experience?
This Arcana stuff, you know people. That's what you do. You are a detective. You solve mysteries. Xerxes barely could stomach walking into a room and getting attention. The idea that this dude would pop off on a, like, I had a dream that scared me, to his, like, peers, unless it was the realest shit in the world, is laughable. In fact, I would send a 26 insight, and you can roll deception against it if you want, but if you are trying to be honest in this moment.
I'm not hiding anything.
You know the fact that he's telling you about this dream means there's 20 before that he didn't tell you about. Like, the straw's already broken the camel's back.
Yeah, you can tell that there's something that was being contained that now can't be contained anymore, and it's gotta come out. I don't know what it means, and I'm coming to you because normally taking to the skies will clear my head, and I can't get this out of my head. And I saw my son in the dream, and he was 5, which I know he's not now. But
How old is he now, by the way?
He's 13.
Okay.
He'll be 14 in a month and a half.
It's a very specific
And I don't
age
know
for him
what
to
he
be.
looks like.
Oh, that's right. You haven't seen
Oh,
him since.
right,
I haven't seen
okay.
him in 7 years.
Yes, I haven't seen him since he was 5. That's why. No, never mind. Sorry, that's just me
The
being
last
an
time you
idiot.
saw him when he was 5?
No, he was about to turn 7.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
It's the last time I saw him briefly, but
Maybe that's just his best memory of him.
look, I don't want to. I don't. I know that there's other matters that we have to attend to, but I just wanted to gather your thoughts. If any of this means anything to either of you.
I recognize the phrasing. Pesha explains what the DM just explains. You know, perhaps this vision of the devil looking Man, maybe he was the Lord of the Hells. Maybe you're having some sort of deeper connection with that moment from the schism.
Maybe.
Why
And, you know, I don't
him
have a
specifically?
father. Maybe it's just some anxiety that I have over my son.
Could be. Maya's 7 now. Kier's 5. It's strange that you mentioned where the shadows gather. There was a crime scene that was reconstructed from Vasselheim. Some of the language and symbols that were used there were both celestial and infernal. Strange to see both.
Yeah, which would make sense.
Not my thing, but
with him being
unusual.
This is recent?
Possibly the Lord of Hell?
Very recent.
King of Hell?
Uh,
If Hell
you
even
remember
exists
the-
in this
of course,
world.
The matron ascended. Many have tried to duplicate.
Or some form of Hell, anyways.
Sure, yeah. We've told that story.
Yeah, there's usually just SpaghettiOs all over the wall.
This is the second time Vasselheim has come up in conversation for me today. I was hoping to actually ask you about it, but
Go ahead.
seems there was some sort of happenings. I heard rumor through the grapevine that there were some artifacts stowed away here in Avalier from Vasselheim.
They mentioned that someone from the Ring of Silver was asking about them, and I could only assume that was you.
I'll say, you not only have heard about people in the Ring of Silver talking about this, Loris was from the Ring of Gold.
Word travels fast through the rings.
Who did you speak with about this? It only raises my suspicion because normally these things are passed off as a copycat. Someone trying to do what someone else has done with dire effect. But the remnants of this attempt, things don't quite match up. Certain things that are left behind weren't left anywhere.
Does any of this spark my memory or any thoughts of something that would be familiar?
I would add this. Usually if it's a failure, not a lot of people are interested in things that don't succeed. But where there's success, or some remnant of it, that can draw a different crowd. The Ring of Silver, caring about this.
Well, as you know, the Library Incantatum has a deep vested interest in any type of extraterrestrial knowledge that should not be in the hands of dangerous people. So many people.
Perhaps it's just timing. I think there are a lot of things that have to line up in order for something like this to work.
But it wasn't successful. Most of these, as you said, aren't.
I wouldn't be the one to weigh in on that, but
How would you know about it if there wasn't something left over? Like, if there was nothing, then no one would know that anything had happened. So there's something. Is there something?
indeed, and
There
I
was
didn't
something.
want to detract too much from our champagne, but okay, there's a bow. And I pull out from behind my cloak, tucked in between where my wings are, the half of this rusted, patinaed bow.
Can I look at it?
You sure can.
You can.
You.
I also
Thank
wanted to
you
get
so
Zerg
much.
size on this, but take it, okay.
Yeah.
I look at Nidus as well, just knowing that he has seen many an artifact.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it as well.
Hell yeah.
All right, just before they have a look at the bow and see what's going on, I am going to end the episode there. I am going to do longer episodes, but since I only have an hour left of this episode, I might as well just make these round about an hour long, and then starting from episode 2, they will be longer. So, yeah. Alright, that is part 3 of episode 1 down. Like I said, in the next one we have a little less than an hour of actual Critical Role, Exandria, Calamity episode left, and I'm assuming probably the end of it is them like wrapping up this episode and stuff like that, so there might be a little bit less, but we'll come with that when we come with that. But yeah, man, it's starting to come together, it's starting to get interesting. Like I said, I had a feeling all of the characters would have known each other to at least some degree, and obviously that was right, because they all do know each other. And I'd say the fact that they're all like connected in some sort of way, and oh man, it's so fun. Plus the mystery behind why he specifically is having these dreams of the two gods fighting each other, and especially with the son appearing as well. Like the fact that his son's like, what he said, 5 years old in this, but he last saw him when he was 7. Like I said, I don't know if it's just because his son is specific to him trying to figure this out, and he's using his son as kind of a vessel in his dream, trying to show him what's about to come. I don't know, and he's only shown up as a 5-year-old because that's how he remembers him best. There's so many different things, and there are so many questions, no answers as of yet. It's frustrating just trying to think of what's going on, and we are getting there. They're obviously starting to talk about it and things like that, and starting to get there now. But there's just so many questions, and I'm trying to like pick up on every little bit of detail that's going on, and it's so difficult at times. Like I said, when I was told before, there's so many characters, and obviously you've got like the 6 main characters, but there's also like, you know, all of the NPC characters that Brendan plays, which, by the way, I think he does a phenomenal job of like being able to just snappy and just like, come up with the narrative to push the story forward just on a whim, and go with whatever the characters say. Because I think that's the hardest thing with being a DM. Obviously, you've got to create this story, but I think the hardest part, for me anyways, I think, would be just you need to make the narrative go forward. You need to continue the story, but you have no idea which way the actual characters will take it, and you just have to go with it, and you have to be able to think on the fly. Oh, they've done this. Kind of wasn't expecting that. How am I now going to get from this point to this point, which is where I wanted them to be, but now they went up here, along here, down, down, up, left, right, boom, 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 and now I need to get them back to point B. So I think he does an incredible job doing that, and like I said, hopefully I'll be able to watch either the Mighty 9, or, which by the way, that poll that I did, yeah, the Mighty 9 absolutely blew everything out of the water, followed by the Legend of Vox Machina, and then Hell's Bells. So, or Bells Hells, god damn it, which one is it? It doesn't matter, you know which one I'm talking about. Campaign 3. So yeah, the Mighty 9, dude, people love that thing. So I am really, really excited to watch that. But like I said, I'm gonna stick with the Legend of Vox Machina as of right now. I think starting that, even though it'll take me God knows how long to get through it, would be great. And I get to watch Matt being able to do his stuff and to flex his imaginary muscles. Imaginary as in, like, you know, him thinking of stuff, not saying that he doesn't have muscles, but, you know, thinking of stuff and being able to use his imagination to create the narrative. I think it'll be really fun seeing the different dynamics between these two. But yeah, I think that's definitely the hardest part of being a DM, but I think he does a great job, and I'm sure Matt also does an impeccable job as well. But yeah, I'm just being thrown for a loop. There's so many stories here, but I will say this. Bola is my new favorite character. I hope she shows up again, because Brennan's just, like, straightforwardness of just saying whatever Bola would say. You know, just kill them, kill it, destroy it. I don't want it here. I just want drink. Why is Bag not giving me drink? You know, it's so fun. It's just how straight-faced he is when he says everything with that character. Oh, I absolutely love it. Yeah, it'd be great if she showed up again. Oh god, I hope nothing happens to her. Oh god. I don't even know if she dies, but that's happening anyways. But yeah, absolutely love the episode as per usual, and I cannot wait to get into it again. So thank you guys so much for watching it. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It does help massively, and I do massively appreciate it. Check out my other videos. Like I said, I will be streaming as of this video being put out. Maybe not by the time you get to the end. This video is a pretty long one, but yeah. So if you guys want to check me out, feel free to check me out. If not, that is totally cool, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.